Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today, breaking news! Paul Rudd is Ant-Man. Yes, so I know I usually don't do casting videos. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. When the Wonder Woman casting happened, I wasn't initially planning on doing a video, but I got a lot of requests on it, so I did end up doing the video. Collab video with actually Agree to Disagree. If you haven't checked that out, definitely check it out. And then when Ben Affleck was announced, I did it the day of, on DarkAvengerINC, like the minute of, I did that announcement. And now this time, Paul Rudd with Ant-Man, I wanted to talk about it, and since it was just announced on Variety, I think it was, wanted to talk about it. I got a couple of links on Facebook, Twitter, so let's talk. So Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. First I want to talk about Ant-Man in general and the movie. I'm actually really looking forward to this movie because it is a solo movie that isn't a sequel for Marvel in a really, really long time. I think the last solo movie was Captain America. And I feel like that was a little while ago, so I feel that we do need a solo movie, a fresh look on these characters, and I think Hank Pym is that type of character, because he is a popular character, but not really to the mainstream audience. I feel like he has been pushed to the background in recent years with Marvel, so I think it would be nice to see him more in the mainstream audience. Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't know much about Hank Pym. I really don't. I know his origins. I read some stuff with Hank Pym, but I really don't know much about him. I've never been a humongous Ant-Man fan, but I'm really looking forward to this origin story. One reason I'm actually really looking forward to this story is because of Wasp. I'm really looking forward to the love interest actually being a superhero and how they tackle that. Because, I feel like there is a Marvel formula somehow. There's always a romance, maybe because that started with Mary Jane with Spider-Man, I don't know. Or maybe that's how it started. Or with Iron Man and Pepper Potts. There's that formula. Iron Man, Pepper Potts, we have Jane Foster with Thor, Captain America with Peggy, and now it's going to be with, I can't think of her name, Agent 13, who's going to be played by Emily Van Camp, which I'm very excited for that. But yeah, so we always have that love interest, but a spin on it is that Wasp is a humongous Marvel character, right next to Ant-Man. They were the founding people of the original Avengers. Really, I would say one of the most, not popular female, Marvel characters, but I would say looked up to, I guess, I don't know, because she's not as popular as she used to be, but I guess in olden Marvel she was a little bit more popular, and she's starting to get a little bit more popular again, but they did kill her off and brought her back, like, in a back door. But yeah, that's actually why I'm really looking forward to this, because I hope we get to see the origins of not just Hank Pym, but also see the Wasp, because again, there's always that Marvel love interest. Why not make them have both their journeys? And I think that's the best way to go with Ant-Man. So, what this whole video was about was Paul Rudd, so let's talk about Paul Rudd. What do I think about the casting? I don't know what to think. First of all, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is one of my favorite actors, so I probably would have wanted to see Joseph Gordon-Levitt a little bit more, but then he's already been Nightwing, Robin, whatever he was in Dark Knight Rises, so maybe we should see him more in a DC film, but I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I've seen most of his films. Paul Rudd, on the other hand, I have seen some of his films, and mostly comedies. I Love You Man, he started his career with Friends. I've seen those things, I think he was in 50-50 also, I think, with Joseph Gordon, no, was Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that one? I'm not sure now. I think it was Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Paul Rudd, I think. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure they were both in the same movie. But yeah, I think that was the only drama I saw Paul Rudd in, but I remember the first time I thought he kind of made the scene was with I Love You Man, which was a great movie in my opinion. I really liked that as a comedy when it did come out. And then Friends, obviously he did a great Phoebe boyfriend / husband. I thought he did a great job. But again, those are comedies. Hank Pym's not really a comedic character. Of course, Marvel loves making all their characters very comedic, so I'm sure we're going to see a comedic Ant-Man. But he's more of a serious character. He's a scientist, so I don't really know what direction they're going to go with Ant-Man. Doesn't mean I'm not super excited, because I gotta say this is probably before Guardians of the Galaxy for me, because I'm not really a big cosmic fan. I'm more excited for Ant-Man, because I want to get back to those solo movies that really made the Marvel franchise, and I feel like superhero movies are tending not to do, because the Avengers did so well. Everyone wants to do teams and a lot of superheroes in one movie. Even Amazing Spider-Man 2 is doing that with a lot of villains in one movie. So I really can't wait for Ant-Man because it's going back to basics, and with Marvel they do great casting. Even if I haven't heard of the person originally, they are going to be known after doing their Marvel movie. I would say even Chris Hemsworth, he became humongous by doing Thor, and they're great with their casting. Look at Robert Downey Jr. Could you picture anyone else being Iron Man? Or even Chris Evans. Everyone thought, oh no, he was Human Torch, he can't play Captain America. Now you can't picture him not being Captain America. So I know Marvel is great with their casting, and I'm super excited to see Paul Rudd's range. Again, I've only seen him in comedies. I've liked him in comedies. Hasn't been my favorite actor, but I like hearing his name, and I do look forward to him being in movies. I don't think they're going to be bad if he's in a movie, and I really am looking forward to him in the Ant-Man persona. But please tell me in the comments below, are you excited for Ant-Man? Are you excited like I am about the Wasp being in the movie, hopefully? Who do you think is going to play Wasp? I think that's going to be a big thing. And tell me what your thoughts are on Paul Rudd being Ant-Man. Yeah, so tell me, guys, in the comments below. And this was Comic Uno, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and their ad situations, and don't forget to like my Facebook page. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.